I'm talking a few 100,000 yards. You just on your 5th grand. Run it up, 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 count it up. Hey, hundreds and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. Hey, she want it like me, cause her like she can't count on him. She try to be nosy and hit up my ex. She like, girl, you can count on him.
Hey, hey, we need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board like I'm keeping score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we'll see Jared Goff and the NFC champion Los Angeles Rams as they match up with a former league MVP, Matt Ryan, and the Atlanta Falcons. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, the weather this time of year in the South, perfect. Fall football weather, and we've got the roof wide open here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the heart of Georgia. A moment ago, here was the scene. The Falcons coming out from their tunnel to the roar of all the folks here in Atlanta. We're ready for football as these Falcons get set to match up with the Los Angeles Rams. From up top, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles Davis, as always, with me as well. And CD, defenses better be on their toes in this one because we got two quarterbacks who love to throw the football, and they throw it very well.
Over 4,000 yards each in the previous season. So what you're saying is, if you're a defender, I hope you're prepared properly. Hydrated, stretched, be on your toes, as you said, because the ball's coming your way.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season. Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. As we get a peek at Matt Ryan, a man who's been in the league since back in 2008.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
Ready, 54. Come on, D.
Now Ryan on first down. And finding the tight end Hooper. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 19 yards there on the catch and run. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season opener opponent. And they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. If I had missed him, it would have been a long night.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback, D-line.
From the gun, it's Ryan. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target. And now it's 3rd down. And here's the offense now. Charles, who's the guy you chose to highlight?
The tone setter, the guy in the middle, Alex Mack. His return, never good for the opposition.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons.
Calvin Ridley more than justified his first-round selection in 2018. 64 catches as a rookie and found the end zone 10 times. Did a nice job getting open right there and picking up a first down.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I've played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team was... And that is intercepted by the Pro Bowler, Jalen Ramsey. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. They are in a zone. Remember, folks, 4 interceptions for this defense a week ago. First drive, make it number 5.
And the focal point will be the people who pick the ball out of the air. But let's not forget, to make that happen, it has to be an excellent pass rush, terrific coverage where they are plastered to the receivers, and then, of course, taking it away, making the catch, and going in the other direction.
Now the third leading rusher in the NFL last year, Todd Gurley. The numbers on the ground for Gurley last week. There isn't a coach alive who wouldn't like those numbers. Well over 100 yards and a touchdown, too.
Partner, I think all the coaches who are in that great coaching box in the sky would take those numbers.
So dead or alive?
Either way, they would take that kind of production.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Here's Gurley now out of the gun. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Now a first down throw. Gone. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. A play fake to Gurley. Now gone. And he's got it. That's Kupp for a Ram touchdown. Cooper Kupp. His 5th touchdown now on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
Great field position has to be one of the best friends an offense can have. When you don't have very far to go, you should cash it in with points.
Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. It's up, it's good, and the Rams take a 7-0 lead. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 to score as they start 1st and 10. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. Time for a look at the defensive starters now for the Rams. They were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, do you now decide that I can't throw the ball against this team and try and run it like crazy? Or do you challenge them? This is going to be fun.
First catch for the NFL's leader in receiving yards a year ago and a first down. Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. Dante Fowler, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now Ryan. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful throwing into too much double. And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. Aaron Donald with a sack.
That's how we do, D.
3rd and long, defense with no fear. They brought the pressure.
Zero fear at all. That means they feel really good about the guys who are going to cover. But the biggest one is they think their pressure will get there before he has a chance to find an open receiver.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Now Natson. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. And we'll get our first update of the afternoon from the Meadowlands. And the early lead there belonging to the Cardinals. Baker Mayfield leading the charge offensively. So good field position for the Rams as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. So on the heels of the run by Todd Gurley, another 1st and 10. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Goff. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays good.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Ryan. Dante Fowler in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Ryan. And that is intercepted by the Pro Bowler Jalen Ramsey. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
And that's now the 2nd time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively, and you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
On 1st down, it's Gurley. They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Goff. Oh, he's going to go for it all. And, oh, it'll be intercepted. Isaiah Oliver with the INT.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Ryan leads with Freeman on the draw. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. Here's Ryan. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Here's Natson.
Come on, fellas.
So here are the Rams to take over. Last week, they got the victory against the San Francisco 49ers. They've got the lead in this one as well right now. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. Good move by Gurley. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And finally, down at the 36-yard line. And it appears we've got a member of the Rams shaken up on that last play. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. So they move from 136 over to the other as they come up on first down. Here's Goff. That'll be caught by Cup. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Let's go. Line 20. Mike 45. Drop deep, drop deep.
From the gun, here's Goff. He's got this one complete to Perriman. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. To throw again on 2nd down. Goff nowhere to escape, and he goes down. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Flushed out right, and he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So on 4th down, here comes Greg Zuerlein to try and get 3 for the Rams. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Zuerlein's kick is up and through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. Zuerlein, of course, last year had likely the iconic field goal of the season, booting that 57-yarder in the Superdome to send his squad to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you really hurt the Saints fans on that one, didn't you?
Sorry.
They didn't want to hear that at all. But this guy deserves his nicknames. Greg the Leg, Legatron, because the ball goes through the post at a heavy rate, 87% in 2018.
This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. It's player spotlight time, and we focus that spotlight on the quarterback, Matt Ryan. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is...
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And now the Rams have got it, going the other way. And they will set up shop with outstanding field position in the red zone at the 17-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. It's Desmond Trufant. There he goes left side. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. You think you're going into halftime with a good-sized lead. Not so fast. That pick six really changes the complexion, probably also changes the halftime speech.
No doubt about it. Instead of going in relaxed, you're probably a little more uptight right now, probably a little bit angry. Let's see if they can get their focus back.
Tavecchio good on the extra point, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Tevin Coleman and the rest of the offense making their way back out. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first. Maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on. And then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
45. Mike, 45.
Here's Goff. He's going to look deep for Perriman. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down to the 29. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
59.
Out of the gun, Goff. He'll get this one to Kupp, complete. It's a gain of 15, and the Rams have a first down. Goff now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. From the red zone now, Goff. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Josh Reynolds that time, and that'll bring up second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Watch QB drop. Mike 5'9".
Again, Goff. Well, he's got it. That's Kupp for a Ram touchdown.
That's how you score.
Cooper Kupp with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Rams tack on to their advantage. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
And now let's discuss Julio Jones. With them losing here in the second quarter and his limited productivity so far, you'd have to think they're going to try to look to him a little bit more, right?
I would guess you would start to see maybe some quick screens, some pitches, anything to get the ball in his hands quickly and let him try and do some damage after the catch. Or maybe just flip some formations and keep him isolated where it's more of a one-on-one route and get the ball to him.
I say just 4 verts, right?
Hey, why not? 4 verts. One of the best routes in football. Hard to cover.
And that is intercepted by the Pro Bowler, Jalen Ramsey. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. After the interception, here's Goff. Open man right side is Cup, complete. The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home. Mike, check.
Now Goff on 1st down. Throw left side, complete to Cup. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Goff. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So we come upon halftime with 9 points separating these two teams. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here is some of the division races.
The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. The Rams going to get the football first here, and they look to build on their lead as the second half gets started. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Jared Goff and the Rams headed back onto the field. And it was somewhat of a strange first half. He threw 3 interceptions, yet you look at the scoreboard, they got the lead.
So you know what I think he did at the half? He stood up in front of the team, especially in front of the defense, and said, thank you. Appreciate what you've done. You guys have picked me up in a big way. And guess what? I'm going to get back to being who I am, which is pretty darn good. Let's go play the second half.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Goff now looks to throw. That's into the hands of Reynolds. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Reynolds really saw an increased role last year after Cooper Kupp went down with that ACL injury. 29 catches last year for Reynolds, but 22 of those coming after November 11th when Kupp left the lineup.
Motion.
Throwing on 3rd. Goff. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Well, a couple of good division battles coming up in primetime this weekend, starting tonight with Sunday Night Football, Eagles and Cowboys from AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Then tomorrow on Monday night, it's the defending champs, the Patriots, on the road at MetLife Stadium to take on the Jets. 2 not to miss to close out Week 6.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Quick throw from Ryan here to Ridley. 20, 10, touchdown, Falcons. Calvin Ridley, his first touchdown on the year. as they have now chopped this lead down to 3. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Time to establish the run game here. Gurley. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. In on the tackle, Devondre Campbell, Falcons' leading tackler in 2018. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Strip the ball. Strip that ball.
Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He's going to look deep for Perriman. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Jared Goff with his 3rd touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Rams tack on to their advantage. Charles, there aren't really any slow receivers, but there's fast and then really fast. He's really fast, and he showed off the afterburners there.
And that he is, because when he took off, I was thinking there's no chance that he can actually reach him with that pass. Yet he did, and he's still sprinting. And just think about what that does for everyone else on his team, because his ability to stretch a field opens things up for the rest of the receivers on the team.
Zerline now for the PAT. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And the result for the Rams, a touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a 1-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
Let's go.
That catch, number 750 of his NFL career, and it puts him even with not just one but 2 Hall of Famers, Michael Irvin and Charlie Joyner. So some pretty good company at 7'5".
Hey, you talk about the playmaker, Michael Irvin, and the guy who just made plays, Charlie Joyner. And that's what we're seeing here. Similar style in terms of being dependable, being open, and turning it into plays that you remember.
Now left side on the swing pass. For even a first down and more. That shoves him off at the 20. 33 yards that time. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Dante Fowler in there for sack number 22 on the year. And, folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22.5 set in 2001. Another try after the first down sack. Ryan. Dante Fowler with sack number 23 on the year, breaking Michael Strahan's mark of 22.5. Congratulations. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Here's Ryan to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. Dante Fowler in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on the scoreboard as we get set to begin the 4th. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. From the 27, Goff. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Josh Reynolds, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Rams tack on to their advantage.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
Now Goff will lead the Rams up to go for 2. Here's Goff. And he's got it. So the 2-point conversion is good, and they add on to their 4th quarter lead. So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes could prove risky. There it worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Now, they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of the team because
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dante Fowler in there to get him again. That is sack number 6, one off the NFL record of 7. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Ryan completes this one to Meredith. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. Ryan, and his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Nickel Roby-Coleman. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick six for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick six in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. I'll tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Falcons now. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? And great yardage here all the way deep into Los Angeles territory. A big play there, Ryan to Jones, 61 yards. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. They run, Devontae Freeman. And they get to him quickly here as he stops right around the 13. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. The Falcons on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now Barter, and he's going to come up well shy of the first here as the tackle's made right around the 12.
Face mask, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did.
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Austin Hooper, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Falcons get a bit closer. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. And the hands team for the Rams able to secure the football. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Coleman now. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They will run again with Coleman. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary now on 3rd. On 3rd down, here's Coleman. And they're going to stop him short of the 1st down as he's tackled at about the 21. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And Zerline's kick is good. And that will make this now a 19-point advantage. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
Let's go. Do it.
Matt Ryan and the Falcon offense set to get going again. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dante Fowler in there for the 7th time in this game alone, and that ties him with the late Derek Thomas for the most sacks ever in a single game. Dante Fowler in there yet again. They just cannot block him. He now has 8 sacks, and that is a new single-game record. Corey Littleton. The offensive line is in tatters as that's now 3 sacks in 3 plays. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal.
Check.
On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Tevin Coleman, his first touchdown on the year. And the Rams tack on to their advantage.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Matt Ryan and the offense heading back onto the field. He's had quite the turnaround, Charles. At the start of the game, passing game was a little bit of a mess, but he's back on the horse, so to speak.
Love seeing how someone can rebound from a slow start or a tough start. Means that they're strong mentally. They've kind of calmed themselves down. Everyone's rallied around them. Maybe they even changed game planning a little bit in order to make things better for them.
We got 3.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Nickel Roby-Coleman. Well, it wasn't always pretty, but the interception there, that means that they should get out of here with a victory.
Yeah, this is not a game that they're going to preserve for posterity on defense, but they did finish it off, didn't they? They did make the winning play to close things out. They'll take that one and head to the locker room.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their 2nd. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. It's Coleman here. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings.
Exactly.
There.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Los Angeles, the win moves them up to 5-2 now on the year. And they will head back home.
Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew, so I never get confused. Hotel get a bird's eye view. Hotel get a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me. Maybe I'll be on so soon. So office store got locks, I got some trusted shoes. Okay, 10K on the countertop, don't look so shocked, it's nothing new. Okay, death comes in threes, wins come in twos, cash comes in ones. Throw it up. I do a good job. Pull up and pop out and pull out. Hat on and hood on. Pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one. They want to keep me. Oh, that's a good one. Pocket receipts. My bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left. Touchdown. Touchdown. 8th floor. Come down. Hotel. Lobby. Receptionist. What now? 11 a.m. Check out. Might give her one foul just to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest. No recess in my schedule. Mama used to serve